Oh man, the Jazz ultimately give themselves a chance to win the game. Have 4 seconds to score. I mean, they're down one, preferably a two-pointer. Uh, didn't even get a good shot off. Walker Kessler proves himself tonight against one of the best centers in the league with 15 points, 12 rebounds. Let's get into it, baby. This is Jazzketball. Play that intro music. Man, oh man, that one really felt like we were gonna get it. I think the Jazz played incredible, especially since there was no Lowry Markkinen, no Kelly Olynyk, no Rudy Gay. We've really struggled at times with a big man. And yeah, I was just so excited at the end, and that last play was super deflating. In the group chat, we were saying, or I was saying, lob to Kessler, have JC, Conley, or THT drive hard to the rim. The ball's inbounded, and it's inbounded to THT. They're looking for JC. THT wastes probably 2 seconds, finally gets it to JC, and then they double team JC and doesn't even get a shot off. Not sure why we're trying to go for a three-pointer if we're down by one, if that's the play, right? In the timeout, it's got to be, hey, if we can't get JC the ball, whoever gets the ball, drive hard to the rim, try and draw a foul, or get an easy bucket. I kind of put that last play on coach, not explaining, or maybe the players just didn't understand the situation. THT hasn't been playing much lately, so maybe that was the plan on the other side from Doc Rivers is, hey, let THT get the ball. He's not going to know what to do with it. Super frustrating. At least should have got a shot off, if not got to the foul line. And for those that are wanting to tank, I guess that's a perfect game, right? You compete, you come back down from 20, you make it an entertaining game, and Kessler has a huge game against Embiid, but the Jazz just they come up short. So I'm gonna turn this over to you guys. I've got quite a few people requesting to speak. Let's go Armani first, and then we'll go over to Kevin. Armani, go ahead, man. You have been approved. And then I'll approve you, Kevin.
I can't believe that play. I don't know what just happened. I cannot make that play make any type of sense. The only thing I could see in that situation is that I don't even know. Like Horton-Tucker got the ball and maybe he was supposed to run downhill, but chose to make sure that JC got the last shot. Because it just doesn't make sense. Like just I replayed the play like 3 times already. There's no like where was Kessler? Like Kessler just
yeah. Why is Kessler not even on the floor?
Kessler needed to be on the court regardless of it, being a lob situation or anything like that.
Yeah, because he gets an easy tip in if it's a miss. Right.
He could tip it in. That could have easily been a situation where JC not being the inbounder, Conley should have been the inbounder, and we have Kessler setting the down screen for JC to get open. If JC is not open off the catch, then you got Kessler for a lob.
Well, and even inbounding the ball, if you get in trouble, just toss it up to Kessler and then rub off him to grab the ball. Like, yeah.
I don't care.
That was a terrible play.
Coach. That's coach. That's 100% coach. I can't.
Well, I'll put a little bit on THT too, because you got to realize the situation with 4 seconds. If you can't get the ball, like THT's got to be smart enough to drive to the basket, or at least look at the basket. No one was guarding him.
I think that's a situation where the ball was almost maybe coach was trying to force the ball to JC, or THT was trying to force the ball to JC, because in any other situation, that doesn't make sense, because you see how nobody else tried to come for the ball.
Yeah.
Did you see at the top of the key where he looks left and then he looks right and he panics?
Yeah.
Like he didn't know what to do with the ball.
I don't think there was enough options on that play.
But you've got to realize it's a 1-point game, though. Like, a 1-point game, and you, as a player, an NBA player, you like 4 seconds. Okay, time is running out. I don't know. I'm interested to see what Coach says in this interview, because we always do them. I'm hoping one of the reporters asked the tough question, what was the play out of bounds, and I don't know what the explanation will be.
Coach is going to come out the gates just explaining that play. I honestly I fully believe that he's just going to come out the gates with that, because that situation, it doesn't make sense for the situation.
Why?
Take it on him. He always does. He'll never blame it on the players.
Just at the beginning of the play, there was 2 plays extended beyond the half court line. I was just like, why? I'm like, why? I just couldn't. I couldn't make that make sense. But I will say, Walker played an outstanding game against Embiid.
He did.
He played just about the best defense you could possibly ask anybody to play on Embiid.
Here's Coach. Here's Coach.
Okay, go on.
A very slow start. Our defense was not physical to start the game, and credit to Philly, they were in a rhythm early, made a lot of shots, but I think our defensive physicality as the game went on was terrific. I think our team showed a lot of fight again, as we always do. Executed some things really, really well as the game went on, and ultimately we were one stop short at the end, but these are all good learning moments for our team, all good opportunities for them to continue to understand end of game, and for all of us to continue to grow as a group in those moments, our communication and what we're trying to execute on both ends. So Philly's a good team. They've got some really special players, and at times in the fourth quarter, I think we just got caught with our hands in, and it let them go to the free throw line. But I think other than that, you can always nitpick a few possessions here and there, but I thought our defense and attention to detail and scramble and fight tonight was really, really good for the last 3 quarters.
What would you like to see on that final possession?
Which one, ours or theirs? It's a flip back play for JC where Mike is sitting behind and has an option to slip out or screen. And, I think if Mike slips out a little bit earlier, maybe JC sees him. But, those possessions are hard when it's 4 seconds and the team is really locked in on you. Obviously, us calling timeout because it's only 4 seconds, they get to sub Thibault back in the game. And so you're trying to get him off of JC. But I think
you
JC
got to think about that
decisions.
before, though, Coach.
Really credit to Embiid, because he just left Mike to go to double JC on that last play, and they had great size on the ball. And so I don't think he was able to see Mike. But, the first part of the play I thought was executed very well. And then once the ball gets in bounds, it's hard to really predict what a team is going to do defensively. And they doubled JC, which you don't see a ton at the end of the game. So
what do you mean?
Yeah, it's a tough play, but I thought for the most part our guys executed what we wanted to do.
Malik's had a few rough shooting nights in a row. Do you like the shots that he's getting and taking?
I like some of them. I think he's pressing a little bit at times, and that's natural. He's a very good 3-point shooter. I think coming into tonight, he's second in the NBA in attempts. That's what he does. And so I never question a lot of Malik's shots. I think, he's a marked man. And every night coming into the game, the other team is trying to take him out. They're trying to not let him get threes. It's hard for him to just find wide open, naked threes in a game. And so he has to take some that are a little bit rushed at times. He has to take some that are a little contested at times. And so, it's on us to continue to try to execute and find him when he's open, try to get him a couple cleaner looks to not make his life so hard. But, I think for the most part, the threes he's taken have been pretty good. There's some possessions where, because he's a really good shooter and scorer, he's pressing at times, but that's very natural. That happens to every player. You try to find your way back into a rhythm, and he works really hard on his game. He's in the gym every day, and so for me, it's just about trusting Malik and trusting his work and continuing to try to empower him.
What did you see out of Walker tonight?
I thought Walker had some great moments. I think his first quarter was not very good. His physicality in the first quarter was not good at all. And he made a great adjustment as the game went on, and he started to be a little more physical with Embiid. He started making his catches tougher. He started making it harder for him to screen. He used his length well, and I thought he was really good at running, going the other way, and making Embiid work in that way. So big tip in at the end, obviously, but he continues to work so hard on the glass. He's doing a good job of learning how to present himself for dump-offs and lobs for his teammates. I'd say almost every night the other team's going to guard him with their center. And so that guy is generally the primary help defender when we do drive the ball. And so Walker making himself available for dump-offs is a huge part of our ability to score at the basket. And I think he's continued to do a pretty good job of that.
Talen was kind of thrust into a bigger role tonight. What did you see out of his game? What stood out?
I thought Talen did a good job of, for the most part, not settling to shooting jump shots. We tried to get him in some spots where he could really attack off the bounce, and I think he's continuing to understand that that's his superpower, is he can get in the paint really whenever he wants, and he's doing a better job of making decisions once he gets there and continuing to play with a lot of force downhill. He shot 10 free throws, and against a physical defense like that, you have to match their physicality offensively or you're not going to get any whistle. And I thought Talen was one of the best guys on our team tonight at just driving physically to their bodies and creating contact. And that's what allowed him to shoot some free throws tonight.
What were you saying?
Joined by Big T Thorough Bailey and calling the game tonight with Craig Bolajek. And T, you guys showed this stat.
Man, I put that one on Coach. I think that was a rookie coach, mistake. Which
the explanation for the play, I'm not a fan of that play.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, and then the explanation of Mike being able to slip, like it just. The thing that bothers me most is probably Walker Kessler not being on the floor just in case you miss a shot to tip in. And if you watch after the game, it almost looked like Kessler was a little bit dejected. And after a game like that, that's not how Kessler should feel. It should not be, you should not take one of your best players off the floor in the closing 4 seconds of that game.
In Coach's defense, I think you take Kessler off the floor because Kessler struggles at screening. Like, he's got to get better at screening to be on the floor in that moment. And I think if he improves, this is one of the things I was going to say in the group chat and I forgot to, like he's got to that's the one thing, like, he really misses in his game right now. And it's so hard to pick his game apart right now because, literally, he's like a fringe all-star center right now, and it's so weird to say that. The way he
plays the center position the correct way.
Yeah. If he can literally just learn how to set his feet on a screen and stop shuffling them, which he will. He's a rookie.
I think that's just his core strength, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and he'll get there. But, that's the thing is, he just struggles at setting screens. If he was better at setting screens, I really do think he's in there in that moment. I really do. I just think
a lot of the times a screen is set up by the guard, and our guards aren't patient enough to even come off a screen. You look at Vanderbilt, and he's got to be the worst screener. He throws his arms out, and it amazes me that he doesn't get an offensive foul every time. But I just don't even think you need a screen in that last play. I'm not
saying that's the reason why. I'm just saying, I was just saying
that's
maybe
that's one of the many reasons why.
Maybe.
Because yeah, I see what you're saying. But he has a big body there, so regardless, I don't know.
I just think we're short rebounders, right? There's no Lowry, there's no Olynyk. If you miss the shot, how many tip-ins
He's about the
did
second or
Kessler
third
have?
best rebounder on the team.
Yeah, he had a few tip-ins tonight, and that's the main reason for me to keep him on the floor. But also drive hard to the basket, and if somebody helps off, you throw a lob up. And
I'm sorry, but I would most definitely have Kessler on the court, and I would have THT try to go downhill. We love JC. You know, JC's talented and all that, but there's nobody on that court that could stop Talen from actually going downhill. If that
well, who came in for him? What? Because non-THT were having good games. Conley, Clarkson. Who else was the fifth guy?
Beasley.
Beasley.
Yeah. And Beasley had a rough game. Beasley's the guy I would have left out this game just because he shot 21%.
But if your play that you're calling is the pass back, so if the whole thing is to have Clarkson inbound it to Conley and then get the ball back to JC for a shot, that's 3 seconds. You're not.
That's too long.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're not getting a rebound. So why have Kessler in the game? Like, that's
well,
where I think the mistake is in the first place. If that's the play you want to run, there's no point in having Kessler in the game.
I don't understand that draw up either, because you have to understand that they're going to play JC hard.
Well, yeah, his coach's explanation of usually they don't double, like, yeah, but you have to plan for that, especially if Clarkson's the guy. You got to think the other team. Okay, if Clarkson gets it, they might throw a double at us.
And by not having Kessler in the game, you're almost taking away your options of what plays you can be running.
Yeah,
you're right. It's just too many. Yeah, it was too many options taken off the board just via the lineup.
So now you got a big, long Embiid who can sit on the perimeter and put his big ass long arms out there to guard the perimeter instead of having to sink in to guard a Kessler for a lob.
Well, let's move on to the other stuff in the game, because there was good stuff that happened. Joel Embiid scores 30 points, shoots 9 for 18, only hit 2 3-pointers, but I would say quiet 30. Kessler, like we said, did a fantastic job on him. I think,
especially at not fouling, he only had 1 foul.
Yeah, I think Kessler really proved that, hey, I can hang with the best centers. The best centers in the league, and he solidified himself tonight. 9 defensive rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, had a steal, 2 blocks. I believe both of them were against Embiid. The thing that The thing that I love about Kessler, and Armani, I think you've said this when you watched him in college, is he runs the floor. He can run. So he can
really, really run. And the thing is that he's not running as hard as he possibly can, because I see him. Sometimes he just sit there. He'll take 2-3 seconds to run. And it's not because he can't. He knows he's not going to get the ball majority of the time. Like earlier in the season, he was running like a gazelle.
I believe it was in the second. I believe it was in the second quarter. He had a block on Embiid, then tipped it to one of our guys, ran the floor hard, and got a dunk. And Embiid's still on the other end. Kevin, I think you chatted to us in the group chat. Kessler's making Embiid look lazy.
I think he realized in the second quarter that he could speed walk Embiid down the damn floor. I mean, I guess I just don't watch the Sixers very much.
This is how Embiid plays. Yeah.
I forgot how lazy Embiid is.
He is.
Like, I forgot that he just doesn't put a lot of effort into the game.
Well, he's preserving his body. You see him. He
good on him.
He hit the fadeaway. He hit the fadeaway and just out of nowhere just started limping. Like, it's like,
Yeah, he like tripped over his foot or something. But yeah, I don't think Embiid was given everything he had. I think they came into Utah.
I don't think he really necessarily could, though.
Possibly. I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big dude.
The way Kessler played that is that the way that Kessler was playing him today, any play that Embiid would have to go drive on Kessler, he would more than likely get called for offensive foul. The way that Kessler was kind of backing off, but he was using his arms. Kessler was using his arms, and he was moving his feet. He was playing as good as you possibly can. And if any way that Embiid would have took him to the basket, it'd probably have been an offensive foul.
Yeah.
How good he was playing.
Looking at this lead tracker.
Once he stopped biting on those damn pump fakes, the whole game changed for him. Like, he took, I think 3 of them in, like, the first 5 minutes, and then he never bit on another pump fake after that, and it changed the whole game. Like,
that's what I love about him most is he did have a bad first quarter, and coach hit on that, and he's able to make in-game adjustments and learn so quickly on the fly. And that's why I think just keep on throwing him in the fire, and then, you know, you give him a full year and an off season, and this dude's gonna be one of the best centers in the league. And really, the whole tonight was our backup center. Like, once he went out, you had THT at times guarding Embiid. Like, and Vando, I honestly might.
Vando has to go.
Yeah, I'd rather have THT guard Embiid over Vando.
I swear to you.
I wonder how Tim Conley watches Jazz games, knowing that he doesn't have the best center from that trade.
Yeah, they gotta be hurting.
Like, if you know what if I'm freaking Kessler, I freaking call up Rudy and I say, "Hey, Rudy, just give me a price. Teach me how to screen like you do." Because if he could learn how to screen half as good as freaking Rudy does, he'll be an all-star next year.
I think
it wouldn't be a question.
Well, I don't think it's just him not knowing how to screen. As another part to the situation is that the guards don't use the screen the correct way.
Right, but
No. I'm not saying that that's gonna fix this whole game, but I'm just saying, like, one thing he can work in the off season that will just help him take this game, because he's got the blocks down.
Yeah.
We can see he can shoot the 15-footer. And you know what and we were talking about this before the game. I think the most impressive thing to me that I've seen is his intelligence and his quickness. When he sees the guard coming into there, he fronts his man and then he steps out of the way and he gives the guard the space he needs to do what he needs to do. And that's something Rudy could never do, was to give Don the space he needed to operate when he came in underneath.
Yeah, because Rudy will go right under the basket.
Here's the thing to think about too. Alex Jensen really molded Rudy Gobert, and if you think about how to teach to set a screen, it's not that hard. I think what's happening is Kessler has so many other things that he's focusing on right now and trying to develop, that screening for the coaching staff and what we need right now aren't on the top of the list. But
not at all.
But the way that he can make in-game decisions and adjustments, I mean, this guy, give him, you know, a full year off season, couple more years. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not worried about him learning how to screen
right now. He's a playoff center right now.
Yeah. So let's jump into some of these other stats. James Harden had 31. He led the 76ers in scoring. Clarkson led the Jazz with 38. Clarkson seems like he's kind of finding his groove again and not forcing it as much, which is great to see. I love that in the fourth quarter he knows, like, you know, this is the time that my team needs me, especially tonight with no Lowry. Joel Embiid leads. Get this. Kessler out-rebounds Joel Embiid 12-7. Coming into this game, I wouldn't have thought that would have happened. James Harden led the Sixers with assists. Mike Conley led the Jazz with assists, 8-11. And then D'Anthony Melton had 2 blocks for the Sixers, and Talen Horton-Tucker is saying that he led us in blocks. So him and Kessler must have tied at 2. But I mean, we out-rebounded these guys. When you're down all your big men, basically, we out-rebound these guys 59-46. This is the second game in a row where we're finally rebounding as a team. Second chance points, we finally... Oh, no, sorry, that's what we've been doing good at. 19-6. Fast break points, we finally beat a team in fast break points. We had 20, they only had 10.
To be fair, though,
the Sixers might be the only team that's slower than us.
Yeah, this is an extreme half-court team. It's an extreme half-court team.
Well, and I think that might have been part of the game plan. Coach told Kessler, like, run. Once we get the ball, run, because Embiid's not going to be able to keep up with you.
Yeah, Embiid won't be able to keep up. See, here's the thing with Kessler, and that's my big gripe with the guards, is that Kessler outruns all the bigs, and none of the guards can jump with him. So it's like, why are we not making sure that he gets some of these lob chances, on the fast break?
All JC had to do was close his eyes and throw the ball toward the free. Just throw the ball toward the free throw line. Just throw it toward the paint, and Kessler would have had a two-point dunk every time.
The amount of times that JC sat there and dribbled himself into a corner just for Kessler just to be sitting there just wide open was just like cringing me. Like the entire time, I'm just like, bro, passing the ball, please. Please just passing the ball. He's right there. He's going to kick it back out. If Kessler doesn't have a shot, he's going to kick it back out. It's not like he's a player who's going to sit there and try to go score.
And this is why JC can never be a primary ball handler. He can't dribble with his head up. He just can't do it. He still starts dribbling, his head drops. He can't dribble his head up. So like you watch Mike, man, Mike never dribbles with his head down. His head is always on a swivel.
What's going on with Mike? It seems like he's not as effective as late.
It's the three. It's what it is that he doesn't. It's his knees.
Yeah, I think he's just saving himself. I just think he's not giving it 100%.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's definitely his knees because he doesn't have enough lift under his 3-point shot. So you can see a lot of times it will flatten and hit front rim and stuff like that. And then when he drops to the basket, his legs are not on there, so he can't really get as high for the finishing and anything like that. He's been atrocious driving to the paint.
So,
I lose my mind.
It's why I say I don't know why we're starting him. Like I don't know why he's not coming off the bench.
He's a start. No, he's the best point guard. He's the best quote unquote primary.
But why? Why can't we start?
Who?
Sexton.
Well, Sexton was out tonight.
Sexton wasn't here.
Yeah, Sexton was out tonight.
But when Sexton is here,
well, I think they're nursing Sexton. I mean, Sexton has been in and out all year, and I
think Sexton still needs more time. When you have somebody who's like Mike Conley, who can make smart decisions and control the pace of the game. One thing we always complain about is that Colin Sexton outpaces himself.
Well, and Kevin, I get what you're saying with Sexton, but like even when they interviewed Mehmet Okur, they're like, "What do you think of this team?" And I mean, the first thing out of his mouth is like they haven't been healthy all year. If they're healthy, then it'd be a different story.
Even when Mike is in the game, JC's dominating the ball. So why are we putting Mike in the game?
Well, I think
and putting hours on his freaking knees if JC's just going to go in there and dominate the damn ball over him.
Yeah, well, I think both of them are secondary ball handlers, right? Neither one of them can possibly be a primary ball handler right now. The thing is that JC
you're right. I know.
The thing is that JC is so gifted offensively when it comes to his scoring package getting downhill. There's like you kind of want the ball in his hand because Mike is not. He's just not efficient driving, and his three ball is not going his way. The way that we would like it to go. So Mike is more like a swing guy and a guy who can expose and pick and roll. Not by his ability, but his smarts.
Yeah.
So we need that on the court as opposed to JC. JC can just go drive and just put up some nonsense, and we could possibly get something going.
I want to hit on this last play, and I know Talen just requested to speak to the last play by the 76ers with 13.3 seconds left. We're up by 1 point. I'm playing this on YouTube if you're watching. They get the ball into Harden. Embiid comes over, sets a screen, switch back, but the thing that was effective on us handling Embiid is we kept throwing a double team at him, right? And I don't know if that was part of the game plan at the very last. He had a great shot against Kessler. I think Kessler did just about everything he could to try and affect that shot. I don't think you're going to block Embiid on a fadeaway, 5-footer. But there's a guard right there. Why did we not send that guard, or why was that not discussed, or is that just
because the last couple times we've done that in that situation where it's a Harden and Embiid
throw it back to Harden?
No, not even. No, well, yeah, that too, but the guards foul.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Every single time the guard had foul for in the second half.
Harden just went on like a 16-0 run.
He did.
Just prior to that, yeah.
So you can't let him go off and let him get a step back three. So it's just like which one would you rather? I'd rather Embiid sit there and take that jump shot.
So
and I agree with all your guys' takes on the game tonight. And Kessler was amazing. I agree with everything that you guys said. The one thing that stood out to me the most would be the way the way that Will Hardy prepared these guys for the game, and how they ran the system, and just to see that how you can plug all these role players into the system, and we hang with the 76ers. 76ers are a team that probably won't win the East, but they're going to go pretty far in the playoffs as far as going to the second round. So I just think that, if we do end up trading for somebody, that they could flourish in the system because of Will Hardy. I do knock him for, that last play where we should have been, whoever catches the ball, just go to the basket. That don't even think about giving it to JC. If it's JC, then obviously, yes, go to the basket. But, yeah.
Yeah, and to hit on your point a little more, Talen Horton-Tucker and Na played a lot together, which I don't believe we've seen very much. I thought they did really well, and it kind of proved that they both can play together, because I don't think Talen Horton-Tucker needs to be a point guard just because of his body size and his ability to guard different positions. But I also like Na for his defensive ability and being able to hand a point guard, especially with the second unit. So Na led the team in plus minus with 14, and then Talen Horton-Tucker was right behind him with 11. So, you can look at the box score and see how effective that was tonight. They both shot the ball pretty well. Talen Horton-Tucker had 20 points. Nikhil had 7 with 7 rebounds. For a little guard like him is huge for our team. And between the two of them, they only had 4 turnovers, so they also took care of the ball.
I think when they play together, it forces THT to take the ball inside, and that's who THT is. Like he's not a shooter, and he just needs to realize that that's not who he is. He's got to get the ball. He's got to use his size. He's got to get the ball to the rim, and that's where he's going to be most efficient. It's these games when he tries to shoot the three and he tries to do this little mid-range pull-up, he can't do it. But when he takes it to the rim, Monty was saying, there isn't anybody really on the court tonight who could really stop him when he wanted to get to the rim.
I think what it is that both of those players they play well together, right? But it's hard to get both of them on the court at the same time when Conley Sexton is healthy, because then the guard rotation gets a little bit too deep. And who would you rather have on the court? I would much rather have Noah on the court than THT. As much as explosive as THT is, it's just like Noah plays dirty defense, and he can hit an open jump shot. So it's just like,
Have you guys noticed how much when we're playing defense and Vanderbilt's on the floor, how much the other team targets Vando?
Yeah, a lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
because Vando cannot play defense. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. He's disruptive, but he's not a smart defender, and he's a terrible rim protector. Terrible.
Yeah. God
awful. Can't get a block for anything, and he can't stop anybody from dropping on him because his hips are too tight. So it's just disgusting to watch. The only thing he can do is pressure the ball at the top of the key.
Well, not
it
only
looks
that,
great when he does that.
not only the discrepancy. Excuse me. the discrepancy between his ability to guard a guard and a big man is so massive. Like, when he's on a guard, he's a pretty damn good defender. And so anytime he's, like, on, you know, a Harden or anyone else, they immediately go for a switch because they know the Jazz will switch it.
Yeah.
And they immediately put him on a big man, and then, boom, mismatch. Like, and it's just smart basketball. Like, oh, he's guarding one of our guards? Let's switch it. Because they know the Jazz are going to switch it every single time. Boom, now we have an advantage. Like, it doesn't. A fifth grader can see that.
Yeah, I think it's simple as that. If we're switching, they set a screen, get the switch that they want. If we're not switching, they just pass it to whoever Vando's guarding and take him.
Hence why he gets the nickname Scarecrow. But another big takeaway. I just wanted to hit on Kessler again. Dude, I totally went into this game thinking that Embiid was going to drop a 60 bomber on him, and he proved me wrong. And I just tried to temper my expectations with him, and he did amazing tonight, man.
Guys, Kessler,
his defense was so good.
Yeah, Kessler did not miss a shot. He didn't miss a shot tonight. Gets 12 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, only 1 turnover, and 1 foul on Embiid. That's incredible to me. Scores 15 points.
With that said, I want to see him miss some shots. I want him to see him.
Yeah.
I want to see him start taking those 15-footers.
Yeah.
I know he's going to miss them, but I want to see him take those shots because, like, if he can start stretching that defense out, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Was it preseason that we heard that he could shoot a 3? I don't know.
No, he could shoot.
Yeah,
and when he was in college, he tried to shoot some corner threes. And he tried to hit some top of the key type of threes. In college,
he has a good form for it. So
he has a good form. He just doesn't have it yet. But it will be there in about 2 years. We're going to see him.
We don't
just
need it.
dropping.
If he's playing next to Laurie, we don't need him to shoot threes. Like, that's
but if he could hit like an elbow extension or
exactly, that 15 to 18 footer.
Yeah,
if he does it,
that's
that
all I need.
opens things up for Laurie too.
Yeah, that's all I need. I need him to get about an elbow midi and a baseline midi, and the whole game could just open up for the entire team because then he can start to learn how to pass. He can start to learn how to be an initiator in offense. Passing, catching the ball at the elbow, catching the ball at the baseline, getting his screen game. It's so many things that can open up just by him just getting that small little mid-range shot.
Well, I don't think
when he moves out for the guard, when he steps out to give the guard room to work inside the paint, the guard can actually kick it out to him and he can hit the shot.
Yep.
Like that's the thing is like
that's
with Rudy, if he moved out and you kicked him the ball, he was just looking for someone else to pass the ball to because he sure as hell wasn't going to do anything with it.
Yeah. How many times do you remember Rudy just standing at the top of the key, like looking to pass it to somebody?
Hey Brown, you got your 76ers fan with you? Sorry.
Hey, we got Brow back. Let's let him speak. And is there anything that you've heard us talk about that you agree or disagree with?
Sorry, fellas, I just got home, so I'm just listening. So, what have you guys been speaking about?
Well, just everything. We'll come back to you. Just listen to us a little longer. Did you watch the game?
Yep, I was there.
Okay, cool. You were at the arena, right?
Yeah.
What was the feel in the arena in the last 2 minutes of the game?
So I went last year to the Mavericks playoff, and the arena was like 10 times more electric tonight. Wow.
Yeah, and Kevin, you said during that Dawn game that you think they turned the volume of the crowd down, and I almost feel the same. Like, I could tell they were more rowdy, but you just can't hear them as much. I wanted to hit on... Oh, there was another thing I wanted to hit on. Now my mind just went blank. I'm watching Jordan Clarkson's shot attempts. Yeah, somebody else speak about something because I literally went blank.
Want to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
If we win tonight, Minnesota wins tonight because they won tonight. All three of our draft picks now would be above 15.
Speaking of Jordan Clarkson's shot attempts, he's like you said, earlier. You said he's coming into his game more, and I agree. More of a early season Jordan Clarkson than we had, and he's just picking his shots better. I've noticed in the last 10 games, he's not just chucking to chuck. But obviously, with Jordan Clarkson, you kind of be hesitant to count on that every night too. So
yeah, he shot 55% tonight. Took 29 shots, which he almost kind of had to because nobody else was rolling and Lowry was out. But I mean, I think he's becoming such a great player and is able to kind of mold with his role. It's a different role than he had last year. Kevin, you said, why are the LA Lakers not trying to get Conley and Clarkson? And in the beginning of the year, I know the Jazz kind of gave the stiff arm to the Lakers. Do you still think that that's a reason why a deal might not be going down between the two?
They just don't want to give up their draft picks, and I just don't understand why. Like, why?
I don't
I
either.
can tell you why.
well, because LeBron's going to stay his whole career there, so he already told him.
I'll tell you why. Because they don't know if JC is worth spending a first-round pick on, right? Weighing against their future. Is JC a player who could push us towards a championship now when we have this 2027, 2029 pick that we might be harping on that, we may be able to use in a future situation to be able to go get the trade for a star or just to be able to reset our future? Is JC worth that? Because we don't even know if he can play with LeBron in the play style that he has right now.
So tell me a time in the last 30 years the Lakers have had a hard time going out and signing the free agent that they wanted.
Right.
Tell me a time in the last 30 years that they needed draft picks to build their team back up.
It's a new day for them though.
Well, even if they have draft picks and get somebody, they're not there for very long.
Yeah, they don't invest in developing players anyways. Like they've got these picks, and yes, they may draft a player and they may bring them some good value, but like that's not how the Lakers build.
No, it's not at all, right? But see, that's the thing. They can be able to at least go. They can at least be able to feel like they have the chance to be able to go grab a player who can be an asset for a trade for a bigger star. They don't know how long LeBron's going to last. They don't know if AD is going to last for sure. They hope that AD can last. The rest, Westbrook is about to come off the books. It's a lot of moving parts that they have. The roster construction just does not work for them. So trying to go get somebody like JC for that draft pick that might be valuable, as in the league might value those draft picks higher than the Lakers do, and the Lakers do understand that, and so they're not willing to just let it go for somebody like JC and Mike Conley.
I hate to.
You don't think like JC and Mike Conley could make them a championship contender?
I do, especially if AD's healthy.
Or especially if they could pull
look at the rest of the West.
an Olynyk away from us too.
Yeah, I think if you get JC, Conley, Olynyk in a deal.
If we look at the rest of the West, JC and Mike Conley is going to help the Lakers beat, I don't know, Memphis.
Not Golden State. Sure. Not Golden State, and they're the top.
They're not beating Golden State.
I think they got a chance. I think the West, anybody has a chance still.
You think anybody has a chance?
I think we still have a chance if we make the right trade.
I can't disagree. I don't think in 7 games anybody's beating Golden State right now.
Yeah, I would just
bet now. If you put shooters around LeBron
and AD,
he can beat anybody.
All right. Now, with that being said, is JC a shooter?
Yes.
But he's a shot creator.
But the thing is, if you get Conley and JC, then you've got Conley who can shoot, but also facilitate.
Is 3-point shot enough for you to go on as giving him the first round pick?
But he can, especially if
we're halfway through the season and they're looking at it like that.
Yeah, but last year with Donovan and those other guys, Conley Conley can do it, especially in clutch moments and.
Oh no, I believe so. But the trade market, we have to understand that his market value right now doesn't look good because he can't hit the three ball as of right now. He could easily just flip a switch. It's not like he's like a career 37.
Yeah, but I don't think that when you're looking at a trade, especially for a veteran Mike Conley, you're looking at the first half of this season. It's his career. He's proven himself on who he is. So
yeah, but we got to think, is he worth that first round pick?
I don't know.
Out there right now, are they going to go out and get who is like that? Like, I can't even think of anybody who's available right now. Who is that knockdown 3-point shooter guaranteed? Like
Bogdan, they're looking to go get Bogdanovich and
yeah, they are looking at Bogey. Well, that's the rumors.
I mean, if they can get
Bogey would help them, but you still need a point guard that facilitates, and they don't have that. And that's
you don't need a point guard because we have to look at it.
You got LeBron. You don't need a point guard.
Yeah, you got LeBron and you got Westbrook coming off the bench. It's like,
yeah, but if you could replace Westbrook with a Mike Conley, you're telling me that wouldn't make you better?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to let a guaranteed double walk. I don't know.
Well, I think they'd have to get rid of Westbrook to get Bogey, but I don't know how the salaries would work. But
so I hate to go backwards, but I'm on YouTube and I've been watching Clarkson's field goal attempts made and missed, and I'm gonna walk us through on YouTube this last play because I can't get over it, man. So I'm playing it. I'm stopping and playing it, right? THT gets the ball finally to Clarkson with 3.4 seconds left. So a good second has ran off the clock. Clarkson gets it at half court. He comes off basically the handoff. PJ Tucker switches onto him. Joel Embiid is guarding Mike Conley. And this is what we've been talking about. Clarkson doesn't look up to pass. He drives straight into a double team with PJ Tucker and Embiid, and Mike Conley is wide open at the top of the key. All he has to do is retreat dribble and pass it to him for a wide open three. But just doesn't see it, keeps dribbling left into Embiid, and then Tucker basically closes off the passing lane. At this point, there's 1 second, chucks it up. No one is guarding Mike Conley. Freaking crazy. So I think that's what Coach was talking about on the end of Mike Conley slipping, and maybe he was a little bit late. But I think it happened so fast that Coach didn't know. I think that literally was the play. Clarkson, you have the option if you get double teamed to pass it to Conley. So maybe we need to give Coach a break. I don't know, but in that moment, I wouldn't say a wide open 3-point shot is your best shot.
Just not when we need 2 points just to win.
Right. But I mean, to defend Coach a little bit, like Mike Conley was wide open, but Clarkson did not see him.
Oh no, definitely.
So, anyways, sorry I had to go backwards on that.
Vision enough to make that pass.
Even if he does see him, he's not making that pass.
He's not making that pass.
He's got a hero complex. He wants that shot.
Well, and
it's funny because my boy was like, because we were at the game live, and he was like, I knew that Jordan Clarkson was going to get his hands on the ball in the last 4 seconds. I knew it was going to go through him, and I knew that Embiid and PJ were going to go to the corner and trap him. And I'm like, I say, that's exactly what every single team in the NBA knows. And the tough part about being the Jazz is if you don't have Lowry and you don't have Kelly, and if you don't have Jordan, who's going to take the last shot? Nobody knows.
True.
Yeah, nobody does know, but I think that play could have been ran completely different. Like, so, anyways, we can move on. We hit on that enough. It's tough when you don't have your entire roster healthy. I think not having Sexton on the, either starting or on the bench, he adds a lot of energy to the team. Not having our best player, all-star Lowry. The other question is, do you feel the Jazz are? I know we always ask this question, but like not trying that hard to win.
No, I don't. I think
Not at all.
they're trying. I think it's a situation where we're gonna let the eggs fall where they may, and see what the season takes us. But we're also gonna sit there and we're gonna put ourselves in positions to be able to be in trade conversations.
100%.
We have like
I haven't
5-8
seen-
more wins than I think we would if we weren't trying to win.
And the only reason I asked that question is the last play, like, right, of taking Kessler off, just to me doesn't make sense.
I mean, you're going to make mistakes. I mean, coach did what he thought was best, and he's a rookie coach, and he's not always going to make the best choice. And, I mean, I'm okay with that.
I mean, in technical sense, he put his best offensive players on the court, so we can't really get too mad at him.
Yeah.
I don't know if THT needed to be on the court. I would love if THT is going to be on the court, I want him to run downhill.
Yeah,
I say yes just because he made the three at the end of the first half. That's the only reason I have him in.
Yeah, I same reason though. Like, he's good at driving to the basket and probably getting a foul, and then, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got Kessler, and if somebody drives hard to the basket, either lobs or misses, Kessler might clean it up. Just crazy we didn't get an attempt. So let's look at the standings real quick. I think they're updated on NBA.com. Where are we sitting, gentlemen? Where are we sitting?
I think Minnesota finally just passed us in the standings.
That's depressing.
For us or Minnesota?
I think they either won 7 of their last 8 or 9 of their last.
We're the 9th seed right now.
Yeah, we're the 9th seed.
The standings are Denver number 1, Memphis number 2, Pelicans number 3, Kings number 4, Dallas 5, Golden State 6, Minnesota 7, Clippers 8, Utah 9, Phoenix 10.
What's the game difference between all those? They're pretty close, aren't they?
Yeah.
Portland at 11, and between Utah, Phoenix, and Portland, there's 9 games from the 1 seed. 9 games back.
Yeah, we're only 2 games out of 5th place. Or sorry, 3 games. Dallas is
3 games,
3 games ahead of us. Golden State is 1 game ahead of us. And then you got Sacramento 2.5 or 3.5 games ahead of us, and New Orleans, Memphis, and Nuggets are quite a ways ahead of us. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying is, like, we've got, you know, I know the next game, I believe we go to Minnesota. Is that right? And then come back for a game with the Clippers. But a lot of our games are at home, and we've already played most of our back-to-backs. I believe this was our 11th. So I think we have 3 or 4 left. So, you know, we can go either way. We've been saying this all season. If they really want to do it, if our guys get healthy, I can see us easily getting in at the 6, 5, or 4 spot. Probably more likely the 5 or 6 spot. Sacramento's on a tear right now.
There's one game between us and the 13th spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
9 and the Lakers are at 13, and there's one game that separates us.
There's one game that separates us from 6 seed, and one game that separates us from the 13th seed. That's insane.
Golly.
That's insane.
That's why it's so much parity going on right now that the GMs don't know what to do.
Yeah.
No GM knows what to do in this situation because it's too much parity. It's too many teams are well balanced. They don't know who to trade where. They don't know who can actually add value to their roster. Just as well as just with us, we don't know exactly what to do. I feel like maybe the best option. I feel like the best option is to go push through that John Collins trade. But
nobody wants to be that team that sells the farm and didn't need to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the situation. The market is looking at real space.
Do you think the market's going to change by the trade deadline?
I feel like
not unless there's a big injury.
No, because there's no superstar to reset it. or you know, a French All-Star to reset it.
Honestly, I love where the league's at because most of the time it's who's going to win. And even with Denver, Memphis, and New Orleans, like, it's not a given that any three of those teams are just going to go and win.
The space that the league is in right now is in a perfect storm where there's so many great players or solid players, or the teams can go 10, 11 deep. That wasn't the norm before, but a lot of teams could possibly go 10, 11 deep in a regular season game. Also, with the upcoming draft coming, it's like there's a lot of there may be a lot of rotation, high value rotational players coming into this draft. So it's just like teams just don't know what to do. Should I trade this pick? Should I sit there and try to go grab this player on this contract right now when I could sit there and possibly go get a rookie who can maybe duplicate something that's like it's in a weird space. The whole thing is just weird right now.
But at the same time, I think you've got teams like LA and Portland who just are on the tail end of championship runs that need to do something in the next 2 years before they do a reset.
Yeah,
and they have to make a decision, like, are they going to move their big stars or are they going to go for it? Like,
Kevin, what team in your mind or teams need to make a move the most?
I think Portland has to make a move because Dame's only got a couple years left. I think LA's got to make a move. I think the Suns have to make a move. That's in the West. I mean,
the Suns 100% need to make a move.
I don't know. I don't know as much about the East. I don't follow the East as much, but in the West, I think those three teams have to make a move.
There's a bunch of teams on both sides.
And I think on an outside, I don't know that they need to make a move. I mean, maybe they don't need to make a move because I think they've got time. But I think Dallas is maybe feels like
they need to get
Doncic
some help, man.
Like at the same time, though, I feel like there might be a little pressure on them to make a move.
See, they're in a weird situation as well because they don't know if they want to extend Christian Wood.
Yeah.
They should, in my opinion. In my opinion, they should.
Yeah. I think the Rockets are stupid for not trying to keep him around, to be honest. So in the East, here are the other teams that I think kind of need to make a move as well. You got the Toronto Raptors, Washington Wizards, Chicago Bulls, Atlanta Hawks, possibly
Miami.
The Pacers.
The Pacers are at a good spot. They don't need to really.
Yeah, I would say Miami needs to make a move if they're wanting to compete with the Celtics, Nets, Bucks.
They're trying to strip off Kyle Lowry's contract.
Yeah, I was about to say that. The money's too deep with K. Lau, and he's been so unhealthy.
Yeah, I don't think Miami can do anything. I think until Lowry and Robinson are off the books, I think they're just kind of stuck with where they're at.
Yeah, they can't do anything until they're willing to give up. What's his face? He's from Milwaukee. What's the guard name?
Connaughton?
Tyler Hero.
Oh yeah.
They need to be willing to give up Tyler Hero.
And they don't. The other thing about them too is they don't have any draft assets. Like they've moved a lot of their draft assets because like when they were looking to get Don, I think they could only offer one, maybe two picks with Hero, and so they just don't have a lot of options. So I think they're in a.
They don't have too many options.
I think they're in a stand pat. Like
when you look at their roster, they have a bunch of players who played in the G League, a bunch. And they make best from that, but. That's not a space that you would want to be in. But you don't want to give up Jimmy Butler or Bam. So it's like,
I think they're a team who would love to make a move. I just don't think they can.
I think Miami right now is very similar to Utah in 2017.
In what way?
Miami's like 2 moves away from contending again, and they're stuck with bad salaries.
Yeah.
We got to think about it. They were one jump shot away from being in the finals.
They were, but not anymore.
They're far from that now.
Yeah, they lost PJ Tucker too, and that hurt them, I think. The last thing I want to hit on.
Tucker is gonna kill it. The fact that PJ Tucker was the needle mover for your team is crazy.
The last thing I want to hit on I've kind of become infatuated with this idea just from rumors swirling around, is DeJounte Murray and John Collins. Obviously, I think John Collins is going to get moved, and the Hawks are realizing that his value isn't what they think it is. But what would you be willing to give away from the Jazz for John Collins and DeJounte Murray? Because I would kill for DeJounte Murray on our team.
Well, here's the thing: is that we would have to give up a first-round pick, definitely, at least one first-round pick to get to DeJounte.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up 3 to get him.
They're gonna want to get some assets back.
Yeah, I don't see how you get him back for anything minimum of 2.
Yep.
Well, if you, my thought is, because they're asking for a big man that could shoot, so that's Olynyk, right?
Like October Olynyk.
Yeah, but they don't.
Yeah. And then, if you throw in Vanderbilt as another big guy to kind of replace Collins in a certain way, I would throw in JC. I would throw in Conley if they want either one of those.
I don't think we could do it. We're going to need a third team. We're going to need the Suns. We're literally going to need the Suns for this trade.
I don't see us. First off, I don't know where this rumor came from, because I don't know why they would move.
I don't either.
DeJounte
Murray.
Yeah, I don't either.
I get the. I mean, I don't know why they would move Trey, but to me, Trey made more sense than Murray.
They can't get. I don't see why would you get that backcourt was working at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It was
well,
working.
And if they could get DeAndre Ayton and kind of make it a 3-team trade, I think that would make sense. They're not going to want to do that because they got Onyeka.
Yeah, they don't want Ayton.
They have Onyeka and Clint Capella, so they're good on the center.
Like, they need Crowder. Like,
that's what they need. They need Crowder.
Yeah.
They need they basically need John Collins to learn how to shoot again. Is what they really need. But that's not happening.
Colin, we got you in here. I just accepted you to speak. You want to go ahead and hit on whatever you're thinking about over there?
Yeah. I'm gonna get straight out with it. I didn't watch the game tonight again.
Oh God.
But I saw that the one of the proposed trades, which this doesn't really make any sense because I'm honestly confused with what Atlantis wants to do. I don't know if they want to just give up.
Maybe today.
They don't know what they want to do.
Yeah, I heard they're having some leadership issues, like
He's like-
front office changes.
He's like Vando in the paint right now.
So
They don't I'm crying, bro.
But anyways, I saw something, but it was this doesn't really make much sense.
I got
it
a
was
question
literally
for y'all though.
Wait. Let Colin finish real quick.
Is he speaking?
Yeah, sorry. There might be a connection. We've been having that problem for some reason.
Oh really?
Oh my
Yeah.
bad. Go ahead. Let me know when he's done.
Yeah, Colin, go ahead.
Can y'all all hear me except for him?
Yeah, I can hear
We can hear you. I just think there's a little bit of a connection issue.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw something from I don't know if it was some kind of verified account with 200,000 followers, which on Twitter doesn't mean shit. But anyways, it was said something about JC, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and 2 firsts for John Collins and DeJounte Murray.
Absolutely
I'd
not.
do it. I would do it.
Absolutely not. I'm not giving
Not
up
even
both
close.
of that. I'm not giving up
close.
all those assets for DeJounte Murray and
What about 1 pick instead of 2 picks?
Nope.
Still no?
No.
I honestly don't
I
even
think
want John Collins.
Because
I
we're
think
not
I'd
going
do
to
it.
get any picks back.
Yeah, I think I'd do it though.
The thing is, I trust the Jazz to develop John Collins more than what we're doing with Laurie.
Yeah, but it's not even about John Collins. It's about getting DeJounte Murray to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Well, I'm thinking we flip
How
John
good
Collins
do you
once he
think
gets better with the
DeJounte
Jazz.
Murray is?
Huh?
How good do you all think that DeJounte Murray is?
I think he's good. I don't think he's great.
He's one of the best.
much better do
He's
you
one of the
think-
best point guards that can defend.
But how much better do you think he is than some of these prospects that are going to be available in the next couple drafts?
I don't know. That's the thing is that's why I'm willing to put my money on him because you don't know with the picks.
And the amount of money that you have to take on in John Collins. Here's my thing. I know that we hit gold with Kessler. I know that we hit gold with Larry, and I trust the front office, but at some point, like, they're not going to hit gold every time, right? Or maybe
No, but the thing is, I don't know if it's recency.
I think we
for
hit
me.
gold with Ochai as well.
I think it's recency for me, but I think the Jazz can develop and flip players. I think John Collins is a player where you take him for a year, his stats go way up, and then you flip him.
Yeah, I think they can get John Collins back to what he used to be and turn him into an asset.
That's what I'm saying. I believe the Jazz can do that. They've done it with every player that comes to Utah almost. Every player that comes to Utah almost does better. Better than they were almost.
That's not true. THT's gotten worse since he got here.
I will say this though. I think the Jazz are moving on from being the farm league of the team and developing players. So I think Danny Ainge and Ryan Smith, you've got to take into account, like, they're not wanting to do that anymore. I think that's why they're so willing to make trades and pull the trigger on things.
Well, John Collins to me he's a low end risk. Like, he's not too much of a risk. We know what we can get from him. He can start on a playoff team. We already know he can do that. We've seen him average around 17, 18, 19.
If he can shoot the ball again.
I think he can.
The thing is, I think his asking price has become so low now that we might as well just...
How much do we need him to shoot the ball if we replace him with Vando?
Yeah, we need him to be like a rebounder, rim protector type thing.
Because he's a solid rim protector. He's a solid rim protector, a solid rebounder. We've seen him be better offensively.
For $24 million a year for the next 3 years?
Yeah, I would do it.
You guys were just like 3 days ago talking about how you don't want to pay JC $20 million a year.
Yeah, but it's a different player. JC needs the ball so bad and is a scorer, where Collins is more of a length rim protector, defender, and then I think he's more of a threat than Vando ever would be on the 3-point line.
But we've already got Kessler who can do that. And, like, no offense, but guys like that can be picked up in the draft pretty easy.
I think John Collins is in his worst possible scenario where he is in
brought up through this Jazz system.
I think we're undervaluing John Collins too. Like, if you put Walker Kessler, John Collins at the 4, and then Lauri Markkanen at the 3, do you realize what havoc that would wreak on defense?
That's an extremely strong front court. And then if we don't have to give up Kelly Olynyk, think about that rotation.
But the same thing's going to happen. The same thing's going to happen now when we run that same line out with Kelly Olynyk, because Kelly can't hit a damn shot. Everybody closes down.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Kelly can't play defense. John Collins can.
I think John Collins is more gifted offensively as well than Olynyk. Like, he can dribble off. He can dunk over people.
Right. I just don't know that that's worth $24 million.
Maybe not, but I'd be willing to take a risk on it, to be honest.
I don't think it's about the 24.
What's his asking price now?
Low, because you know why? Because now the Hawks have allowed his team to go and sort out another trade.
Yeah, his agents are now looking for a trade.
How little we can pay to get him.
Yeah,
we don't have to give up.
But he's under contract
now. With this situation, with that being reported today, I think his value has driven down maybe like a 9.
Well, and I think that's the genius of Danny Ainge. He knows this, and he's just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
He's had this trade locked and loaded since the beginning of the season.
Okay, who was
GM in this league?
I'm gonna mute everyone real quick because we seem to all be talking over each other. Who was? Everybody just stay on mute for a sec. Who was trying to speak when Colin was speaking? And what did you want to hit on?
That was me.
What were you trying to say?
I was kind of just I was playing off of the John Collins, Jay Crowder scenario. And I kind of wanted to introduce a scenario to you gentlemen.
Yeah, let's do it. It's Saturday night, baby.
Say we do get Phoenix involved. Phoenix says, yep, it's a good idea. They send Jay Crowder to Atlanta. Atlanta sends us John Collins. We send Vando and Kelly to Atlanta. And we said, I don't want to say this. We said JC.
I don't want to say this.
We said JC down to Phoenix, and then we get a draft asset.
I think
we're going to need two. We're going to need 2 picks.
Who are we getting a draft asset from?
Phoenix.
But Phoenix isn't doing that because they've got offers on the table from like Milwaukee and other places for Crowder that don't involve them giving up a pick.
They're not going to do it.
I think JC would fit so well in Phoenix.
They'll give up a pick for another ball handler.
Yeah, the people that are offering right now don't have who they're looking for.
Yeah, we have the assets that the Suns want. Atlanta has the assets that we want.
Mm-hmm.
There's been an entanglement for 3-4 months now. Everybody's just playing around and seeing whatever they can go get from other teams, but those are the partners. Like those are the partners. The JC situation came out of nowhere, not necessarily out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure that the front office knew that was a possibility, but other than that, these 3 teams needed to be in an entanglement with each other. I'm pretty sure that Danny was waiting for the Atlanta situation to just blow up.
Right.
Especially that John Collins been on the trade market for 3 years now.
Damn near his whole career.
Yeah.
John Collins been fished before the season before Trae Young even came. It's crazy.
I will say that I'm really hesitant. I was mentioning earlier about draft picks, maybe to include in DeJounte Murray's case, but I have been scrolling through the draft boards like every day recently, or seeing something on Twitter, and every single day this class looks deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And at this point, I honestly don't want to give up any 2023 draft picks. I'm okay with giving up some future ones, but all of even the last one, even the one that's, Brooklyn, 76ers, I'm okay drafting deep in this draft because, dude, every single guy in this draft is looking like, even in the 20s, way back in the 20s, is looking like potential guys that have a lot of potential,
Wait till you start scrolling to the 2024 draft. We don't
I haven't even looked into that because I don't want to. Because that just seems...
Don't look into that one. It'll depress you because we don't have a single pick in that draft.
And I think that's why Danny's sitting there trying to hold on to his draft picks and possibly package off to be able to go get a pick next year and try to figure out what team is going to be terrible.
Think that's the holdup too, because I think Danny's asking for 2024s, not 2023s, and nobody wants to trade 24s right now. Nobody wants to trade them at all.
Yeah.
Have you seen a single rumor? Have you seen a single rumor in the last 6 weeks that involved a 2024 pick?
Not at all.
Not a single one. Not a single one.
Nobody wants to give up 2024, but I think that Danny's going to force somebody in.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to take the bite at the apple. Nobody's going to sit. The entire first round is not going to sit on their picks.
Especially if we don't make a trade by the trade deadline, I think you're right, Armani. There will be a trade in the offseason by Danny.
Because we also got to be cognizant of the fact that every offseason there's about 2 to 3 stars that kind of start pondering and seeing whatever else situation they can possibly move to. And if we look at these younger players, who are the younger players that may want out of a certain situation that Danny and Jay-Z might be interested in trying to go get.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
That's why I think there's almost more value to hold on to Conley until the offseason. I think he's worth more in the offseason than he is at the trade deadline.
I don't think I would trade. I don't think trading Conley is really needed at this point. He's not going to get a first round pick.
That's surprising to me because I feel like
I don't think Conley's going to go anywhere but back to Memphis.
Yeah, I feel like someone would panic.
That's my personal opinion.
I feel like you have more teams panicking at the trade deadline day than in the summer and willing to maybe chunk up a larger offer.
So he's on a team option for next year, and it's not even a fully guaranteed team option. So you have a partially guaranteed expiring contract.
Yeah, I'm not giving up Conley. For what?
What?
I said, I'm not giving up Conley. For what?
People are going to be...
We're always going to need somebody on the books. Yeah, so it's
people are going to be drooling for that kind of a contract for people, and if we're willing to pick up a bad contract in exchange, and like I said, if Danny can't make a move for a 2024 pick, then I think you're going to see a fire sale next year because we're going to want to come in the bottom 10 next year to protect our own pick, which is going to be really hard with a kick-ass
know if that's necessarily
Walker and Lowry.
I don't know if that's necessarily true if they feel like they can make a move a move or two that can push them into a stronger a stronger place in the standings.
I don't know if we can.
Well,
I don't know if we can. I don't with as good as Lowry and Walker already are with Sexton and Ochai and all these. I don't know how the hell we get to a bottom 10 team in 2024. I don't think it's possible.
That's why I don't think that's the plan. I think the plan is to make the team as good as possible without giving up too many assets.
I think that was the plan originally, but I don't think Danny knew.
No, I think they were just trying to see whatever stick.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is that as of right now for the season, Lowry is showing us something that is not normal in the NBA, and it is that he looks like a transcendent off-ball player.
Yeah, I saw something that said, I can't remember what website it was, but they had Lowry as the number 1 spot for most improved player. Do you think he has a legitimate chance at winning that?
Oh, no, he has to be the most improved player. What were you going to say on Shea? But here's the thing is that Shea has been put in a position to be a number one option because he's on a bad team. We have Lowry who's pushing the team who was expected to be a bottom 4 team in the West to be in contention to be in a play-in, and not only to just that, he's averaging 24, like around 25 points per game right now. And over the last month, he's been averaging 30.
I saw someone else besides Shea, and I'm trying to remember who it was. But there was one other person I saw besides Shea, but
I don't know who else besides Shea could even be up there. I'll be honest.
I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing that too, and I can't remember who the other player was, but I agree with you, Armani. It shouldn't be anybody besides Lowry, and Josh shouldn't have won it last year. But I can see him doing that type of thing again this year.
Anthony Simons. That's who it was.
Yeah, he's fallen off, though. Maybe at the beginning of the season.
It's not the same as Lowry.
No, I don't agree with it. But that's the other person I saw.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he's fallen off as of late. I don't think he has a real chance anymore.
I think that also came out like 20 games into the season. So, that was when Portland was going on fucking absolute fire.
Yeah.
And then Anthony got hurt, and so, of course, his stats suffer, but he shouldn't be in that conversation. He's not him.
I mean, if we're being 100% honest, if Lowry's not in the top 10 for MVP voting right now, something's wrong.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen that he's been in the MVP race as well.
He's got to be in the top 10. I don't expect him to win it, but he's got to be in the top 10 in voting, right?
100%.
Well, I don't think. Well, for one, I don't think they're going to be because of the coverage that he's getting, and then on top of that is we have to be honest. He doesn't get the attempts or the usage of somebody who would be an MVP. So I don't think that the media is even looking at him, even entertaining. At least with SGA, it's a situation where he's averaging 30 points, right? He's a lead guard. He's the number 1 option. We all know he's going to get the ball. He's been hitting game winners and all types of stuff. So if he's in the quote unquote MVP race, it's it makes a little bit more sense versus Lowry, because Lowry just, as much as I love Lowry, everybody know from the beginning of the season I was Lowry'd out. But I don't think that the media would respect him enough to garner him in the MVP conversation. No, not at all.
Were any of you guys at the game tonight, by the way, or no one?
No, I wish.
I wanted to ask about the.
I think Brow. Weren't you at the game?
I think Brown was.
I wanted to ask about. Have they already? Is the arena name already changed, in person?
No, it's changing in July.
Oh, July. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I wasn't sure about that one.
What do you guys think about changing the name back to the Delta Center? They made a pretty cool video about it today.
I will say, it's been Vivint. It's been Energy Solutions / Vivint since I was 5.
Delta Center Jazz is who I grew up on.
But so I grew up on Energy Solutions Vivint Arena Jazz, so I don't really care for it.
Yeah, I saw somebody tweet out, like, I don't get the big deal about Delta Center. Is that just something that old people get excited about?
It's the name. It's just the company.
I mean, I like
big billboard. I don't really understand what
Delta Center
deal
sounds a little bit more. I don't know. Delta Center kind of like rings a little bit better than Vivint Arena.
I've just always called it the Delta Center, and the John and Carl days is what I grew up on. So like that's what I know from childhood too. So I think a lot of it has to do with the era that you cheered for and kind of grew up with as a kid. Because if it was Boozer and Williams, right? Was it Energy Solutions Arena when they were there?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd rather go back to Delta Center to give respect to the most successful Utah teams.
Hey, if it brings us a championship, you can call it whatever the hell you want.
You shouldn't have called it Delta Center then.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I worked for Vivint, and Ryan sent us a pretty cool message. So
the closest we ever got to a championship was when it was the Delta Center. So.
That just means we need to bring Jeff Hornacek back to the coaching staff too. Then
he is on the coaching staff.
Yeah, he is.
What?
Yeah, Jeff works for us again.
Yeah. Is he an advisor or what is his position?
I don't know, but he's on the staff.
Probably a shooting coach.
Never seen him. That's crazy.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to be in the spotlight. No, Jeff's on the coaching staff though.
I mean, technically, I thought I heard that Malone technically is on the payroll too, but
I saw something today that Malone's going to be part of the All-Star game in some form. I think it's interesting how Ryan Smith brings back these old guys, like you saw Mehmet Okur tonight sitting with Darren Williams and then Truck Robinson. There's got to be some type of secret. Do you think that they're going to try and relive? I mean, it would be awesome if John Stockton showed up too, but I just.
Oh, John's popular. John's coming out.
John won't. John will be the last.
I think.
If Carl coming out, John's.
Listen, I think John and Carl are coming because they won co-MVP in '93 when the All-Star game was here.
Maybe.
And I think that would be the one thing that could get John back out.
It'd have to be because John hates the public spotlight. He hates it.
Yeah, but he doesn't hate the Utah Jazz organization, and Ryan Smith is such a savvy businessman. He's good friends with Carl. If Carl and Ryan, and if they brought that whole '97 team or something like that out, like a little reunion, did maybe? I mean, I don't know. I think there's going to be something cool that Ryan Smith plans.
I hope so.
For the All-Star game because it's in Utah. It's a big deal, and we don't know when that's going to happen again. And I just think...
A lot of people don't know this, but John is not a very nice man. like he is not a very nice person.
That's not what I hear.
Some of the players like him.
I hear if he's one-on-one with you, he is. I think he just doesn't want attention. But
yes. He does not like it. He doesn't do signings. Like, if you meet him randomly out in the public and ask for his autograph, he'll just ignore you and walk away.
You got to think he's also a very private, by my own book person. He's always been that way.
I've got a friend that works at the private airport in North Salt Lake, and he says John Stockton was one of the nicest guys every single time. He's one of the only guys that would tip him. And he said Michael Jordan was the biggest dick ever. He would never tip him, never talk to him,
Jordan's
anything. So that's my story of John
level.
Stockton in private. But I just think with John, it's he doesn't want the spotlight or any of that put upon him anymore.
You knew that because that's how he played too. He played like he didn't want the attention. That's why he led the league forever in assists. That's just not who he is.
Yeah, and even on the Dream Team,
I know a couple people who have run into John on the street, and haven't been treated very kindly. But,
well, hey, you got to think as an athlete, and then you become an older person too, right? Like, it's just like, dude, like I'm over it. Like I don't want to do this anymore. So, anyways,
I hear
I'm
what
gonna.
you're saying, though, because I've definitely heard many stories around both Carl and John, positive and negative.
Yeah, I just think it matters. It's like any human. You catch them on a good day or a bad day. They're human too. And everybody expects them to be perfect when they meet them, and maybe they just got in a fight with their wife. You never know. So
John, the other thing too is John just hasn't done a lot of events with the Jazz since he left. Not like a lot of the other people like Jeff and Carl.
but he did come. They did a reunion with Sloan before he passed, and he was at that one. And that's what I think the way to get John out is throw a big party with his teammates or something.
I hope it comes the All-Star game. That would mean a lot.
One of the packages, like, you get the lunch with the legend and everything. So he's bringing back every Jazz legend to have lunch with you, and he's bringing legends from other teams as well. But like, I just recently purchased those VIP packages for me and my buddy that I went to the game with tonight, and we're stoked about it.
Can I come?
A ton of money for that.
Yeah, can I come with you?
You got an extra $1,300 lying around.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. We've got our next game is on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is a matinee. Basically, it starts at 2 in the afternoon.
What? Holy hell!
Yes, it's a weird one. So I'm debating. I'm gonna try hard to do a podcast on that day. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get home and do it in time. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to watch the game, to be honest. So I might, if I do it, I may record the game and do it later in the day, just because it's kind of weird. I don't think everybody has Martin Luther King Jr. Day off, so I don't know why they're doing a matinee game, to be honest. They're treating it like it's Christmas.
I think it's for the players.
Yeah. So, anyways, I appreciate all you guys that have jumped on. We will be doing this again. We are closing in on 800 followers on Twitter and almost 100 on YouTube. Our YouTube is really taken over with the views on there. I think today we've had like 13,000 views in the last 28 days, which is massive. So let's keep this snowball going and share anywhere with your Jazz friends. And we will see you guys next game.
Peace out.
Peace.
Have a